Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. Today's presentation will be looking into the impact of cane toads on the northern quail species and explore the issue, key findings relating to the threat posed by the invasive species to native ecosystems, and will look into proactive measures to mitigate the impacts on the northern quail. I will further discuss implications and importance for concerns. So without further ado, let's dive in. We will begin by looking at the problem statement. The introduction of cane toads in Queensland has had harmful impacts on native wildlife such as the northern quail. Cane toads produce toxins that are lethal to predators like quails when ingested. When the northern quail consumes the cane toad, it thus suffers mortality, which has led to declines in northern quail's population, especially in areas where cane toads invaded. If the impact of cane toads is not mitigated, the consequences are lethal, and that eventually it is likely that the widespread extinction of quails will be caused as a result. We will now move on to look at the key findings. This research has given further insights into specific data and has highlighted the severity of the threat posed by invasive species to native ecosystems. Key findings have emphasized the importance of proactive measures such as habitat protection and invasive species management to mitigate these impacts and protect vulnerable species like the northern quail. This involves strategies such as having efforts to control cane toad populations and prevent their spread through control elements such as removing eggs from frog ponds, as we see in image 2 at the top. And furthermore, the killing of cane toads using commercial sprays, as seen in image 3, which is the bottom picture. Also closing access to waterholes in semi-arid areas and stunning and decapitating toads by experienced operators. Also, strategic prevention of cane toad spread involves creating artificial water points in semi-arid areas to enable effective control of existing populations and eradicating the cane toad by preventing areas to access. We will see a few pictures regarding this in the next slide. Okay, so further research on this topic has given valuable insights of the dynamics of predator-prey relationships and the ecological consequences of invasive species introduction. Research suggests capturing wild quails and bringing them to captivity before the cane toads invade their habitat would prevent local extinction from occurring. Also, training offspring of wild quails, then reintroducing them to the wild, can likely allow these quails to survive and reproduce. This conditioned taste aversion will lead to their offspring to learn not to eat cane toads, which indicates modification to quail predator behavior, could mitigate cane toad impacts. Just as we see in image 7, we see the northern quail eating a cane toad for taste training, in turn conditioning taste aversion. Image 6, we see a captured wild quail. We'll now move on to the implications and the importance for concerns. The impact of cane toads on the northern quails in Queensland is an issue which requires people's attention and care for several reasons. The northern quail is an important part of Australia's native wildlife, and the decline due to cane toad predation results in the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem resilience. Another factor is due to ecological balance, as northern quails control populations of prey species such as insects and small mammals, and the decline of the northern quail would result in imbalances in the ecosystem. This issue is an ethical consideration, as humans have moral responsibility to minimize harm to animal species, which is a result of human actions such as the introduction of cane toad species. This can be done or completed by following the 6 themes which comprise the Queensland Biosecurity Strategy, which is shown in image 10. Now moving on to actions to address and mitigate the issue. To address and mitigate the impact of cane toads on the northern quail species in Queensland, people can take several actions. These include implementing cane toad control measures such as trapping, physical removal, or using barriers to prevent their spread into quail habitats. This can be seen in image 11, where the physical removal of cane toad for a humane way of termination. Public awareness and education of the problem can help educate communities of how to identify cane toads to help minimize their impact to thus protect native wildlife. The Quail Seekers Network is a non-government body with supports from Wildlife Queensland, shares information with the community, campaigns for the protection and conservation due to habitat loss and invasive species. These result in community involvement as they engage and encourage participation in supporting scientific research, community-led monitoring programs, and habitat restoration initiatives. Conducting ongoing monitoring of the northern quail populations allows understanding the conservation requirements of the species and tracks changes in abundance and distribution. Also, individuals can preserve and restore habitats of northern quails to ensure they have suitable environments to thrive in. Image 12 shows a video which gives the results of the survey of a spotted-tailed quail camera survey project supported by Logan City Council Enviro Grant, which you can find on their website. Thank you for listening to my presentation.